Hey, Gatorade me, bitch. What's up? It's the Culture Detective here investigating your favorite movies and TV shows, and today I'm gonna do a review on the latest TV movie, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Yeah, I woke up like an hour ago, I'm in a hurry right now, so I'm gonna be very brief, very quick. Breaking Bad is my favorite TV show of all time. Yes, I said it. Walter White is my favorite TV character of all time because this show, not only is it a really gritty, realistic, but also somewhat comedic view on crime, but this TV show is also an amazing character study on characters like Walter White, Jesse Pinkman, Mike, Gus, Saul Goodman. All of these characters are really well written. Vince Gilligan is a mastermind. And then after Breaking Bad ended, Vince Gilligan had announced that they're gonna release Better Call Saul, a prequel to Breaking Bad, which is about Saul Goodman, aka Jimmy McGill. But they also announced one thing last year, and that is they're gonna make a movie, a Breaking Bad movie, and it's not a prequel, it's a sequel movie. Yes, and here we are, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, released on Netflix. This movie is basically um, what happened after the ending of the series, which is, in my opinion, pretty perfect. But we all know that there are still loose ends not yet tied. Because Jesse escaped Jack's place, Walt. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you haven't watched Breaking Bad, I highly suggest that you don't watch this review because I'm gonna go a little bit into the Breaking Bad spoilers, but basically, Walter White is gone by the end of Breaking Bad, and Jesse escaped with an El Camino car. And this movie is basically like an extension of Breaking Bad, an epilogue for Jesse. And it's like one more extra episode, one long extra episode, and a really satisfying one at that, because this episode really tie loose ends. I mean, yes, it could have been more satisfying uh, if we know, if we know more about Hugh's situation or Saul's situation, who's then I think Gene. Yeah, legend says that Hugh is still waiting at the safe house. Who knows what happened to Hugh? Yeah, still, that being said, even though the episode isn't necessarily super action packed or intense or entertaining, it's still not as immense or as memorable as some of the late Breaking Bad episodes. It's still very satisfying. There are some action sequences in the in the movie that I really like, especially for the ending, which is something that Vince Gilligan had never written before. A scene like this never happened in Breaking Bad or in Better Call Saul before, and it makes a lot of sense because these kind of scenes tend to happen to Jesse Pinkman. So I find this scene pretty unique. And there are also a few musical montages in the movie that I really like. The editing, the musical choices. As always, Vince Gilligan brings quality montages to the table. The acting is fantastic. Aaron Paul totally killed it as Jesse Pinkman. I mean, Jesse had been through a lot of just trauma when he was being held captive at Jack's place. And in the show, we don't explore that all that much, but in this movie, we explore that way more, the trauma that comes along with being held captive at Jack's place. There are also a ton of flashbacks in the movie. If you're not a fan of flashbacks, and if you're not even a fan of Breaking Bad, I do not suggest you watch this movie because this movie really caters to Breaking Bad fans and fans who really know Breaking Bad. The movie starts off with a Mike flashback where Mike tells him, if you want to go anywhere, Alaska. And the movie ends off really beautifully and romantically with a cameo from Kristen Ritter as Jane, telling him that I go wherever the universe takes me. And there are also some Walter White flashbacks, which I wasn't really aware of, and I really, really enjoyed it. Oh, and I also forgot to add a couple of things in the movie review. First of all, in one of the Walter White flashbacks, Walter White said to Jesse Pinkman that you're lucky, you know that? You didn't have to wait your whole life to do something special. And this line kind of hit me hard because for all my life, I've been trying to do something special, but I really didn't do anything other than wasting my time. So that line really hit me, and it's my favorite line in the entire movie. And I'm sure for people who are having midlife crisis right now, this line will hit them even harder. And also, I want to say rest in peace, Robert Forster, who played the vacuum guy in the movie and in the show. And there are also a ton of Todd flashbacks towards the beginning of the movie because Jesse does things in the present day which need some context, and the context comes from him and Todd when he was being held captive. And yeah, Todd is way fatter now because Jesse Plemons had gained weight. Other than that, Badger and Skinny Pete were also in the beginning of the movie, and I wish I knew what happened to Skinny Pete after this movie as well, because another loose end created by a movie that's supposed to tie loose ends, which I think is pretty awesome actually. But yeah, shout out to Skinny Pete. He's totally the bro. And other than that, I don't have much to complain about in the movie. Again, it's not super amazing. It doesn't blow my mind, but it's just a very satisfying movie that ends off in a beautiful way. A really nice ending to Jesse's storyline. I am saying this movie is worth watching, especially if you're a Breaking Bad fan, and I'm giving it a strong 7 to a light 8 out of 10. So, have you watched El Camino from 1 to 10? How much did you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching. Bye.